Hello, hello, hello to everybody here. It's Teresa Sanderson. As always, super excited to connect with you. Thank you for being a part of my community. Today is the week. This is the week of the AONL conference, the American Organization of Nursing Leaders Conference 2024 in New Orleans, Louisiana. And nurses feed their young. That means me. We are there, everybody. So this is really, really exciting, because this is the very first national exhibit for Nurses Feed Their Young as an organization. And I just can't even tell you how excited we are to greet and meet the nursing leaders at this conference. You know, the AONL is expecting about 4,000 nursing leaders to show up in this space. And I'm excited even to be among the vendors and exhibitors, because when you look at who's going to be there, there are some really big players in the healthcare field who are going to be there. And that in itself just makes me feel really good. I'm really excited about all of the positive connections that are going to happen. So I'm wondering how many of you are big networkers like I am, and how many of you love networking and just meeting new people and learning about them and what they do. So much of this is not about income. It's about serving other people, and it's about making connections. It's important to align your business with other businesses. And so that is a big part of the reason that Nurses Feed Their Young is going to the AONL conference. That's why we've made the investment and the decision to be a part of that this year. And it's exciting. It's a little bit scary, because this is my very first, like I said, national exhibit for Nurses Feed Their Young, but mostly I just think it sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people. So if you are attending the AONL conference, I encourage you, type hashtag AONL below this post if you're catching me on video. And if you're catching me on the podcast, thank you so much for listening in. I just love having our listeners out there as well. But I love to attend professional development every year, some type of courses. And I have to tell you that 10% of my company budget is set aside for me to be able to get myself educated and develop. So I don't know what your commitment is to education and development, but this is a big part of who I am and who our organization is and how we serve, because we want to be on the cutting edge. We want to innovate. We want to bring the best to nurses, because we love them dearly. And, you know, I have really had this on my heart to serve nurses in this way with Nurses Feed Their Young for a long time, for many, many years. And it's taken some different forms. It's taken the form of me serving as a nursing leader at various times in my career. It took the form of me starting a hospice back in the day. Now it takes the form of me helping other nurses add continuing education credit to their courses so that they can teach what they know to newer nurses and other nurses who are hungry for high quality nursing continuing education. And so everything that I do pretty much revolves around serving the nursing profession. And I do it in a different way, right? So I'm not working in a traditional setting. I'm not working at the bedside. And for those of you who may be wondering why, I'm going to get a little vulnerable with you here. But I need to let you know that in 2010, I crashed and burned from major depression. I couldn't work for 3 years. I mean, this was a true clinical depression. And I remember weeping for weeks. And I actually self-reported myself to the Board of Nursing and said, I'm an impaired nurse. I can't work right now. I can't do it. I just can't. And that was a very positive experience with the Board of Nursing, because they helped ensure that, I was aligned with the care that I needed so that I could recover. And it took a long time for that recovery. I'll have to tell you that before I recovered, I had actually opened up and started a disability application, because I didn't know if I would ever be able to return to work as a nurse. So a big part of me knows and understands the toll that mental health that high stress can have on nurses over years of time, right? I've been there, done that. There was no t-shirt, guys. There was no t-shirt. But this is where I serve today as a nurse entrepreneur. Because why? There's a few key reasons for that, but one is that I can choose and set my own schedule, because I know that if I just need a day or if I need an hour during any day, I can do that. So it's entrepreneurship has turned out for me to be an excellent form of self-care, right? But I want you to understand that who I serve is nurses. So even though I'm doing a very different kind of nursing, I still serve nurses. Nurses are my people. This is the language I speak. I mean, after 30 years, this is a big chunk of who I am as a person. And so to go and attend the AONL conference, this is important for learning. It's important for connecting. It's important for sharing. And I think also, to just really demonstrate the full mission of Nurses Feed Their Young, because Nurses Feed Their Young, we have three pillars of what we do. The first thing is cultivate nursing leaders. We want to be sure that every nursing leader and every nurse who has a leader within him or her is trained in emotional intelligence and personality science, so that they can lead with influence and have an easier go at communicating and solving issues and problem solving, all of these things. So that is one of our pillars. We want to develop and cultivate nursing leaders. The next thing we want to do is innovate nursing continuing education. I think we would all agree that there are some big CE players out there who there's a lot of words on a page, and you can click and click and click and you get all 30 of your CE certificates or how many you need. But there's very little oomph in that, right? So I think nurses are ready for high quality nursing continuing education. I think they're ready for options, and that's what innovating nursing CE means. It means, how can we make that content jump off the page in the form of video or audio or any other way, and just allow nurses to really receive something meaningful and valuable that's going to allow them to grow in their career. Okay. There's nothing about checking boxes that is life-giving or, fulfilling, right? And we have truly dumbed down nursing continuing education over the last few decades by making it just a box to check, when in reality, I envision it to be a wonderful tool for healthcare facilities and organizations to use for retaining their teams and allowing their preceptors to shine in a very different way. So we can definitely talk about that. Hit me up on that if you visit my booth at the AONL conference. We're going to be in booth number 1411 at AONL in New Orleans. And the last pillar of Nurses Feed Their Young is that we want to develop nurse entrepreneurs. Okay. There are some nurses, I think we need to stare this in the face, that there are some nurses who are like me, that over time maybe it's not the best for them to work at the bedside. I can work at the bedside. I've recovered to that point, and I did that for a while, but it's not the best thing for me. Okay. I could still serve nursing in a different way. So we believe in developing nurse entrepreneurs who can also serve nurses in a variety of different ways, right? So there's nothing about developing nurse entrepreneurs that needs to be contrary to staffing facilities or helping bring nurses to the right places. There's nothing about that. It's just a different avenue of nurses being able to serve nurses in a very different way. Okay. So again, AONL conference is coming up. That's really exciting. But the next exciting thing is the announcement that we're going to make at the AONL conference. So for those of you who are there, you're going to be the very first ones to hear about it. And Nurses Feed Their Young is cooking up an amazing Nurses Month gift that we're going to be sharing for the first time at the AONL conference. So, I mean, that means like this week, we're going to be dropping that news at the conference. And then for everybody else, you're going to start hearing about it next week. But there's some exciting things coming. So I want you to follow our page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our podcast so that you don't miss a beat of what's coming up, because I guarantee you it's something really big that we are putting out there for Nurses Month 2024. I've not seen anything like it done before, and I'm super excited. We're going to do this, and it's going to be available to every healthcare organization and every nurse in the country that wants to be a part of it, and it's going to be absolutely free. So I said a magic word right there. I hope that you're interested, and we will connect again soon. Have an awesome, amazing day. Bye.